Welcome to Stand and Deliver. This is a study of ball delivery predominantly for the flat green game. If you're considering taking balls up or have just started in our sport, there is a section for beginners in the menu. This is an HEH sports coaching product and we hope to help you to learn as opposed to just telling you what to do. We believe in non-prescriptive methods of coaching and therefore you will not see anyone being coached on this DVD. The styles of ball delivery are as different as all the people who take part in our wonderful sport. This selection of clips of English internationals, Cypriot internationals and club bowlers will help you see what I mean. Six former and current England internationals have graciously assisted us in the making of this DVD. Mr. Steve Farish, England Ladies Team Manager, Mary Price, England Men's Team Manager, John Bell, Linda Rose, Stella Merrick, John Bell Jr. What is best practice? Quite simply, it is the best method we have found over the years of teaching people how to deliver. This is a checklist that a coach would use when working with you, but don't be too worried about learning it off by heart because we'll go through each individual step. Simply sit back and look at what it means actually on a ball screen. John is bowling directly at the camera at our request to allow us to study the dynamics of what you've just seen. Just observe the items in a sequence and then we shall analyse them in detail. Note how John is already standing in a comfortable, balanced position. His eyes never move from his aiming point. Weighs up the weight of the ball in his hand before he commences. Synchronised movement starts, partial weight transfers to the front foot whilst the backswing is moving at the same time. When commencing, ball released clean with no jerks, everything remains steady, arms straight, head level, eyes still on target. Ball away, everything still balanced, palm to the sky, getting ready to transfer weight completely and complete the move. Forward step, completing the move by walking down the line. Study the slow motion version on your own and see if you can pick up the points already discussed. It helps us to take a 90-degree angle of exactly the same delivery and analyse it to look and watch at the smoothness of the whole operation. I've overlaid some graphics here simply to allow you to compartmentalise each individual part of the movement. Look at the timing of that swing, feeling the weight of the ball in his hand, foot ready to move, and the backswing is at 7 o'clock before the front foot even starts to move. weight transferred to the front foot. Backswing reached the top, beginning forward swing. Bowl away clean, no jerks, weight transferred completely to front foot, and complete the movement with the step. To maintain his stability and keep his eyes on his aiming point, John's spine angle is absolutely crucial. Just use the graphics to look at that and the trailing leg. You will note that John's spine angle at the point of beginning and the point of release is exactly the same, with his trailing leg coming down in a straight line. This is essential for him to achieve his objective. His arm action needs to be smooth, rhythmical, a point of release with no jerks if he is to maintain that angle. Let us compare drawing and weighted shots to see if John demonstrably changes his delivery in any manner. Have a second look at that and form your own opinion. What do you think? Many people believe you should change your delivery dramatically for firing, but let's look and see what John does. Judge his stability, straight down the line. This staged version demonstrates some very bad habits. Note the spare hand is not used to grip the knee and increase balance by bracing oneself. It is waving wildly in the air. Now let's look at the length of step and backswing and the difference between firing and drawing. The blue lines are the drawing lines. The red lines are the firing lines. Let's watch them both now individually in slow motion. I'm sure you'll agree there is only a marginal increase in the step, if you measure heel to heel, but an increase in the backswing that's quite dramatic. This is a problem which means you're not in control of your ball, and it also causes massive problems for greenkeepers. When you bounce your wood, you project it into the ground, losing your momentum. On many occasions it bounces more than once. Once, twice, 3 times perhaps. Let's look at it again in slow motion and determine 1, 2, 3. Place a card in your normal delivery path and pick it up on both hands in your normal delivery style. If you can get low enough to pick up a banknote, then I can assure you, you can get low enough to complete this exercise. Repeat the exercise with a small ball or tennis ball. Deliver using the small ball, and if it bounces, you know you're not getting low enough. Many people complain about not being able to adjust their weight. The answer to adjusting weight is as simple as you see here. Simply, if it is too short, increase the speed of your delivery. If you're too long, decrease the speed of your delivery. It is no more complicated than that. Mr. Steve Farish has kindly consented to let us study style. Steve has a semi-static front foot style, which you can see here. He prefers a very crouched position, which he believes allows him to keep his line. And you can see the semi-static front foot better from this angle, and also that crouch position. One of our primary aims is stability, and just take a look at the stability of Steve's head, his eyes, his whole body line. Note how stable the level of his head is at all times. Quite remarkable stability is shown here. The crouch position leads to a much smaller arc, naturally, which is lower and requires less backswing. But Steve gets a great deal of propulsion from his thigh and leg muscles, little from his upper body, but he moves forward and his whole body weight is behind the weight of the ball at the point of release. Look at the smoothness of that release, all part of one action, almost being placed on the carpet. Consider these points, and if you are achieving them, then you've found a delivery that's right for you. There is no easy answer to this question. You will see here that there is a number of arcs depicted in the graphic. On each different one you will see a blue dot which indicates what we call the shoulder. If you can find this point and your weight is correct, then your ball should draw naturally to the jack. Please note that these points are different depending on the length you're playing. Try to find where they are by watching every single bowl, including the oppositions. Some bowlers find a mark on the green or on the opposite bank as an aiming point to help. Bowls can confuse your brain. You're asking it to accept aiming at a point where you don't want the object you're propelling to finish up. It prefers straight lines, but train it to accept the principle of arcs. Stability in the mat is absolutely essential. Once you start your delivery, if you start to move your upper body, your hips, your head away from the line of delivery, you'll suffer from the roving eye and you will not deliver to the point you wish. Be aware your brain will be sending messages to your body to turn and face the jack, which is your final objective, but you have to override this. The graphic designates the aiming point, and hopefully, by good balanced delivery, delivering the ball successfully. This graphic depicts what happens if you lose your line, your aiming point, through any reason, but stability is normally one of the main reasons. Practice taking the 2-meter measuring stick, aiming it at your aiming point, bowling down one side of it and stepping down the other. This will assist you in keeping your line. You will see in best practice that John Bell Jr. demonstrates walking the line after the release of the ball. This is a good discipline for ensuring you get continuity in the line 100%. A good grip is the foundation of a good release. The two main recognised ones are the claw and the cradle. It is very gratifying to see that they are exactly the same in crown green as they are in flat. And here you see a crown green bowler, and here a flat green bowler, both with exactly the same types of grip. The shape of your arm, wrist and fingers may determine the manner in which you can hold a ball. Not all people are designed the same, and therefore not all people can hold it in exactly the same manner. You may not be able to achieve this straight arm palm to the sky style. The next three pictures show you the good practice in grip, but you may have to adapt it to your style to suit your wrist, fingers and arms. Stella holds hers slightly to the side. Mary holds hers straighter, but when she turns it over you can see the fingers are at an angle. This is an adaptation to suit her. Stella also favours an angle. Linda has petite little hands and struggles even with a 0 wood, but nevertheless, when you consider it, she holds it straighter than many. They all adapt the delivery so that they hit the running line, and the last thing it makes contact with the bowl is their central finger. Here we can see Linda's set of zeros. It is common for bowlers to blame everything on the size of their bowls and run out and buy a new set, invariably a size smaller. Try to resist this temptation and consider the following points. You should be stretched but able to achieve this. If you can overachieve it, then potentially the bowl is too small for you. John Bell gave up time in his very busy schedule to allow us time to study his delivery. I'll allow you to study this without interruption and apply the knowledge you have now gained. Again, John maintains that essential stability, straight down the middle. Just take a look at the smoothness of John's delivery, particularly the point of release. I'll pause at that point of release, and there is no distance between the bowl and the green. Like Steve Farish, he almost places it on the green as part of a continuous flowing movement. If I were to overlay the arc with John Jr.'s, you would see it's almost exactly the same. Just remember, every player you see here is a champion and an international. It's easy to be an armchair critic of style. They have adapted their natural attributes and made themselves great players. John and Steve appear to have different styles, but just compare these. At the point of release, both their spines are almost exactly the same angle. Just look and see. John and Linda's styles look apparently very different, but let's just take a look at Linda's in isolation, and then we can do the comparison. You can see here that Linda concentrates a lot on her grip, and she has developed a very economic style that does not allow for a lot of backswing. A lot of propulsion comes from her upper body and her thighs. Still maintains that central position beautifully, and the head is stable. Arm straight down the line, and therefore bowl straight down the line. John and Linda have dramatically different stances. Synchronisation is difficult but worthwhile. Note the height of the bowl above the green at this point. Linda is at the point of release and John is only at the top of his backswing. Immediately follows through with his two completely different follow-throughs but equally effective. This angle highlights the difference in the delivery from the initial stance all the way through to the point of release. Linda will always get to the point of release before John because of her curtailed backswing. Many people over the years have always believed there is a dramatic difference between the delivery of a right-handed person and a left-handed person. Let's compare them and see if that's true. See if you can spot the international skip versus the international lead. Look at the absolute commitment from Mary on this firing shot. Stella is the coach's nightmare, of course, as the left-hander, and everything we say we get wrong when we forget. She's now playing her forehand, and if you cry, "No, it's not," for a left-hander, I can assure you, this is her forehand. You can see Stella changes her delivery very little when playing with weight, and this is absolutely typical of an international lead. Oh, I think I might have just given away the answer to the